I heard BET is up for sale. Anybody got change for $1? Now available on Lulu. John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes comic book. Get your copy of the first John Haynes comic at lulu.com today. The cable channel BET, or Black Entertainment Television, has been put up for sale by its corporate oligarch owners. Now, Paramount Global has decided to put BET, or Black Entertainment Television, up for sale because they are looking to raise funds in order to fund what they believe will be more profitable business ventures, such as their Paramount Plus streaming service. Now, this decision to go out here and put BET up for sale raises a lot of red flags for me, because in today's consolidated media world, which was formed due to the Telecommunications Bill of 1996, when I see a corporate entity like CBS Viacom or one of its subsidiaries like Paramount Global looking to go out here and sell a TV network, it's telling me that that is an asset that has lost a lot of value. And when I take a critical examination of BET, it's definitely a network that has lost a lot of value over the last 2 decades. Now, back in the 1990s, BET was considered to be a major asset by many in the media because it was a place where black people were going to create a network that would basically be a place where we would get to see primarily black content. And that was the plan by Bob Johnson when he went out here and founded BET with the support of white support funders. And with the support of those white funders, they were able to, in the beginning, create a place where we did get much unique black content, like HBCU football games, things like the Comic View comedy show, and we got to see a lot of black content on the platform of BET. However, as we went into the 2000s, BET went from a place where we saw balanced black content to becoming a place that became a certified minstrel show when Bob Johnson decided to sell his stake in BET to the people over at Viacom. And once he sold his stake in BET to the people at Viacom, that's when the content took a major shift. And once the content took a major shift, that's when the network started to go into decline, because many viewers decided to stop watching BET because BET was no longer about black entertainment television. No, it was all about pushing white supremacist narratives and anti-black racism on a network that was called Black Entertainment Television. And there was nothing entertaining about a lot of the content on BET, which had become a certified minstrel show. And as this network became a certified minstrel show, the value started to drop because ratings started to decline. And as ratings started to decline, the value of BET began to drop. And eventually what they wanted to do was go out here and bring in content creators such as Tyler Perry, who puts a lot of content on BET and also has a stake in the network. Now with BET in a state of decline as a piece of legacy media, what it looks like to me is that you have people at Viacom and Paramount Global looking to dump this asset that used to have value, and now we've got a series of individuals making it look like, oh, there's a bidding war over BET, because you've got individuals like Tyler Perry and Byron Allen and Sean P. Diddy Combs looking like they're interested in going out here and pursuing an acquisition of this network, which is basically a depreciating asset that's losing value every day because there are not a lot of viewers watching BET anymore, because the young people have moved on to new black media. And because young people are moving to new black media on places like YouTube and watching channels like Professor Black Truth, Mr. Superboy, Mad Black, Lisa Cabrera, and many others, many people are no longer interested in watching a network like BET because they believe that they are not getting the messages that they want in that media. Now, that media is about a point of pushing a narrative that white supremacists want to see, and what they want to see are black people being buck dancing, bojangling minstrels, and people now have a choice and they're deciding not to choose to watch networks like BET, and they're choosing to go out here and watch platforms like New Black Media, and this is the main reason why the people at Viacom want to go out here and get rid of BET at possibly a bargain basement price, because this once valuable asset to legacy media has no more value, and it has no more value because there are no more black viewers watching BET anymore, and many black viewers don't have an interest in watching BET or a network like a BET Plus, which recently put on this Miss Pat minstrel show, which presents us with a stereotypical image of a loud, ignorant black woman. And this is one of the main reasons why lots of people are walking away from BET, and why BET is now a depreciating asset, that you have this group of bootlicks looking to go out here and think that they're going to fight to go out here and buy in a bidding war of the dysfunctional. And I call it a bidding war of the dysfunctional because all of these guys are fighting over a legacy network that most people no longer see as credible. And this is one of the things that many of these individuals don't understand, is that these legacy networks are basically like the NAACP. These are old legacy organizations that have no more value to foundational black Americans who migrated over to the internet. And as black people have migrated over to the internet to go out here and get their news and get their information from on the information superhighway, most black people are no longer interested in the programming of the mainstream media, which is all about continuing to promote anti-black racist messages in between the lines of their media. And people are no longer interested in watching a compromised network like a BET, and they're not interested in watching a compromised network like a BET because there's nothing entertaining about the way they present black people in their media, because most of their media is funded by white people, and those white people, because they control the money and they control the media, they want to try to control the narrative on legacy media, but they have no control over new black media, which has evolved over the last 15 years. And as new black media has evolved over the last 15 years, this is why a network like BET has continued to lose value over the last 15 years, because most viewers, as I've seen on social media, have called BET a minstrel show, and they've called it minstrel entertainment television, because there's nothing there based as related to the original purpose, which was elevating black people and elevating the image of black people and elevating the image of black culture. No, BET is not about any of those things. No, what BET is just been compromised ever since about 2011, 2012, when Bob Johnson sold it, and now that it's a sellout network, now the people who bought it and turned it into a sellout network want to try to sell it back to one of these black bootlicks, and they're thinking, if I sell it back to one of these black bootlicks, people will think that it's real, because they'll sit there and think, oh, because Tyler Perry or Byron Allen or Sean P. Diddy Combs goes out here and buys it, that they're going to get back to making real content. No, what you're going to get is another group of media created by black bootlicks for black bootlicks, and not for foundational black Americans at all. No, with Tyler Perry, what we're getting right now on the network is a bunch of minstrel shows, And with Byron Allen, we get more minstrel shows because Byron Allen, all he wants to do is just go out here buying channels to make himself look like a media mogul. But the whole thing is, he's not looking to make any of those channels create content that creates a narrative that elevates, uplifts, and empowers black people. Neither is Sean P. Diddy Combs, who is basically a sellout supreme with G's. And he's out here, he owns one of these internet websites, and I forget what the name of it is. And again, it's got a lot of clown stuff on there. So I'm looking at all of the people who are looking to buy BET, and it doesn't look like they're looking to go out here and present any sort of content that will inspire, uplift, or elevate black people. No, what they're going to do is continue to produce content that fits the white supremacist status quo and continues to push the narratives that fit the white supremacist status quo. So it doesn't matter who buys it. It's nobody wins in the end in the black community, but it just shows me, again, critically, that the Telecommunications Bill of 1996, which led to the consolidation of media all across the country, is doing serious damage to most of these media platforms, because many of these media platforms, when they went out here and were buying up all of these TV networks after they repealed the federal guidelines that told them that only one person could only own one TV network, one magazine, or one newspaper, and now they could buy more than one. What we're seeing is they've bought all of these different media platforms, and what has happened is people have migrated from those media platforms over to the internet, and as black people have migrated from those platforms over to the internet to new black media, what has happened is it doesn't matter how much money these people have, they can't control the narrative of the younger viewer. And with the younger viewer now listening to people on new black media, the legacy media is having a bit of a problem of finding an audience for its content. And since it cannot find audience for its content, and things like their streaming services like Paramount Plus are struggling, they're now looking to go out here and offload a lot of assets. And as they're looking to offload these assets, we start to see that their value has severely declined, because for a media oligarch like Viacom to look to unload a network, that just shows me how little value that network has had over the years to them, and how their ability to try to cut up the pie into 500 pieces has made it where none of these pieces can have any flavor or any taste, and how they can't get an audience for it. And now they're trying to further divide the pie with streaming services, and now they're basically encroaching on each other. And I saw this as far back as 2009 when they decided to make networks go digital, because when they decided to make networks go digital and turned a TV world filled with basic broadcast channels, cable channels, and then now you're going to put in subdivision channels, you have divided the pie to the point where the audience basically has so many choices that they can choose not to watch anything as related to network TV. And that's why we're seeing more and more people migrate to new black media, especially young people who grew up with computers and not television, because those young people who grew up with TV and now those kids who grew up with smartphones, they're growing up with new black media, and their first exposure to media, if they are black these days, is new black media. And that's what's got all of these people who used to run TV networks very anxious, because they know that they've basically lost their audience due to a series of bad decisions, such as the Telecommunications Bill of 1996 and the decision to make TV go high definition in 2009. And now that they're hemorrhaging an audience and don't have an audience as related to their platforms, and they are now desperately looking to offload old obsolete legacy networks like BET, and they're looking to offload those obsolete networks to a group of black bootlicks, hoping that even if they sell the network, they can continue to maintain power. However, their entire base is declining because the audience no longer grew up with television, and television in and of itself has been rendered obsolete. And legacy television, black media, has been rendered obsolete basically by the greed of these executives, because there used to be people watching TV at one time and people did turn to BET, but now that people have the option to choose whatever media they want to watch, they can choose not to watch BET, and it doesn't matter which bootlick owns BET. It is not a destination that is considered to be black entertainment television for the new black audience, and the new black audience considers new black media to be its platform, and it considers new black media to be the place where they want to get their media from, because with new black media, black people control the media, black people control the narrative, and black people are now choosing not to watch minstrel shows like BET and be told that they are less than by a group of black bootlicks who work for white supremacists. No, what they're doing is choosing to watch black media by black people that will finally uplift and empower them, and that's why people are choosing to walk away from legacy media like BET or legacy publications like Johnson Publications. What they're looking to do is walk away from this media because this is old, dead legacy media, and this old, dead legacy media has basically run its course, and people, they're still trying to scramble to try to find a way to make it work, but there's no way to make it work, because if you've got a multinational corporate oligarch like Viacom dumping a network, that's a red flag for me that this is the beginning of the end of the corporate media oligarchs that started back in 1996 when President Clinton and the Republicans went out here and signed the Telecommunications Bill of 1996, which has become an unmitigated disaster, because now those people who thought they were going to control the media by consolidating it are seeing that their empire is crumbling, and it's all crumbling because people are now watching new black media and not watching the anti-black narratives on platforms like BET, or as I call it, minstrel entertainment television. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my positive black fiction on new black media like the SJS Direct imprint, you can find books like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy on Amazon.com and other online booksellers like Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and you can also find SJS Direct titles in stores like Walmart and Target online. And that's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, Godbreaker. The man who rules the world takes on the Asgardian god of thunder in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes, Godbreaker at online booksellers today.